Welcome into Gamesthetic, episode 177. I'm Oxlide with Sparky3. Hopefully you are having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're watching or listening to this show. No Zach again today. Man, work is rough for that guy. Feel for him, man. But we do have John in here. John, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm desperately trying to remember something I forgot, and I have no idea which direction to start looking.
That is the worst. That is the absolute worst. No, he was just saying that there was something he wanted to message me. I'm assuming for the show, and now you just can't remember what it was.
Maybe.
Maybe. He doesn't even know if it was for the show or not. So that's the big question. But, John, we got a Nintendo Direct to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I was messaging you during it.
Oh, yeah, you were. That's right. Shout out to that.
I messaged you a little bit. I missed some of it because until you started messaging me, couldn't have told you it was happening.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. You know, I missed the second half of it, and I had to go back and rewatch the entire thing. So after a rewatch, it was pretty solid. But looking forward to talking about that, man. Because honestly, as the title of the episode says, that Nintendo Direct was historic, and I'll go into why it was historic for a few different reasons when we get there. But in this episode, of course, we'll shout out Agent Inc. and Rogue Energy, our two sponsors. So make sure to check them out with the links down below. We'll also touch on some other things. Like one thing I thought was kind of interesting here is Sony already giving up on the PSVR 2. We're going to touch on that because it's kind of interesting. Got some more news out of the closure around Tango Gameworks. And after reading the kind of news that I saw on it, I guess the closure makes a little bit more sense because like that was one that caught us all off guard as well as the rest of the industry. I still don't like it, but it kind of makes more sense as it was kind of detailed. I'm like, all right, I guess. But don't like it, but I understand it a little bit better. So we'll go through that. That'll be a great time. All right, let's go over to two cams here and turn down the music that we can't hear, but they can. So, you know, I've started turning it down over here, you know, like I told you. So it's like it's not double blaring. But the downside is I don't realize how loud it is. Like last episode, dude, it was so loud at the start of the show where it was just like loud ass music and you could barely hear me say, "Hey, I'm Alex Light. What's up?"
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So it, like I'm trying to figure out what the sweet spot is over here in the mixer. So anyway, but yeah, Nintendo Direct though had that happen this week. That was awesome. No, so in my opinion, I do genuinely believe that was a historic Nintendo Direct, and it is for a few reasons. And it's one of those things that, you know, you and I, we've talked about this before where it's just like, you know, when it comes to Nintendo Directs, they're not going to be for everyone, but there's going to be something in there for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's always something that will help appease to somebody. When it comes to this Direct, you know, if you didn't like the Direct, totally cool. But you can't deny that it had some impressive stuff in it, even from the outside looking in. Because the thing to me that makes this a historic Direct, and we'll go through the whole game list, is like, one, finally saw Prime 4. Holy crap. 2, the Mario and Luigi series making a comeback. And 3, the Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda. And this is all the big cherry on top for why I consider it a historic Direct. Dude, we're 8 years into this console's lifespan. Like this, its days are numbered, and it's still like producing what's going to at least be an entertaining slate. I'm not going to say it's going to be like, oh, this is going to be the best slate they've ever created of Nintendo games, you know, but that's not a bad slate. That's a lot of fun, quality games that people will enjoy. So it's like, you know, this is a Direct that I feel like people are going to like talk about for years to come, not because it was the best Direct ever, but it's like, I think the fact that we're so far into the Switch's lifespan and we got a Direct that had like some of these kind of really interesting things, regardless if you care about them or not, it's like that alone to me makes it historic Direct. You know what I mean? Like, am I making sense?
I see where you're coming from. I wouldn't necessarily call it a historic Direct, mainly because I'm personally, I'm more of the opinion of bringing things back, like bringing a series back isn't like, yeah, it's cool for the fans of the series. It's nice to see that, okay, you haven't forgotten about it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't necessarily look at that as like the big, oh, wow moment of it. For me personally, the big, oh, wow thing of the showcase really was the Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda.
Yes,
I can agree with
that. I can agree with that
because that is a take, or like a new take on how to play a Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah, and you know that's totally fair. I agree with you. I threw in the Mario and Luigi thing simply because, like, since Alpha Dream went under, everyone assumed this franchise was gone forever.
Also, it's like, I mean, when's the last time we got one?
9 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like when Alpha Dream went under.
It's like it might as well have been gone. And it's like, it's kind of them going, we've revived this, and then at the same, like in that same vein, it's like I'm good on you for finally showing something on Prime 4, but I'm not going to praise you too much. It's been how long now? 6 years? 7 years?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been 7 years. I know you've had a lot of difficulties with this and sent it back and forth and restarted it and all that, but it's been 7 years.
Right.
It's about time you showed something.
Yeah. About time they stepped up to the plate. No, I totally
Yeah.
get your take.
It's like, not to say this still wasn't an impressive direct.
Yeah. And again, I feel like it really does, like, what helps make it so impressive is, again, just how far we are into the Switch's life. You know what I mean? Like, if this would have been a direct like 2 years ago, it would have still been a really good direct. But I think a lot of the conversation people are having is just like the fact that we're this far into this console's life, its days are numbered, and we're still having a direct with some pretty interesting, cool stuff. Like, that's just wild. No console's ever had something like this.
Well, most consoles don't. Most consoles
Don't-
aren't
don't-
around this long.
Exactly.
And then, I mean, nothing against Nintendo. Nintendo fans are pretty easy to appease with a direct.
That is very fair.
So it's like
you just need
it's
one
like-
of a few things.
It's like they got Metroid, they got Zelda, and they got Mario in a showcase.
W.
How are they calling? Like, they're all gonna call it a good thing.
Yeah, big W. Hey, that's all I needed.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those where, I mean, you can't necessarily compare the two showcases or two companies or anything, but like you watch this Nintendo Direct and it's like people are all excited, like hyped up for it. Like this Direct had something for everyone.
Right.
Oh, just think about the Microsoft showcase we got
Oh, I know.
just then,
True.
and it's like, and just think of the hype level difference there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Nintendo Direct is cool and all, but the other one was way cooler.
That Xbox showcase was a banger. And meanwhile, it's like, Sony, what are you doing?
And it's one of those where, yeah, this Direct was still decent, but like, it just Nintendo Directs, like I said, it doesn't take a lot to, like, we've had some dud Directs,
Yeah.
but it doesn't take too much. We kind of figured a new Mario type game was gonna be coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were you starting to give up on Prime 4 ever actually showing up?
This year, yes. Yeah. I'd given up that it was coming, like we were going to see anything this year. I legit thought it was going to be revealed like in a Switch 2 showcase, like leading up to the Switch 2 launch.
This is why I wait till you give up to take over all of yours.
Well, thankfully the Wind Waker Twilight Princess thing didn't happen, so you couldn't take that from me.
Later this year.
No, we got echoes of wisdom, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna get a showcase later this year that'll then release it for holiday.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, one thing also that I saw people talking about, like, after this, and it already had an impressive one, it's just like, man, when you really take a moment to kind of take a step back and just, like, from first party and third parties, like, dude, the Switch's game library is probably one of the best libraries, like, if not the best library in, like, gaming history. Like, dude, just the amount of shit that's on that damn console. And just, like, just talking first party alone, which, as we've talked about before in various episodes, like first party titles, it's important. It helps drive the console. It's what makes the console memorable. It's like, dude, just the amount of shit that's on that damn console, like, it's like, love it or hate it, you got to respect it. It's like, oh my God. I saw a lot of jokes as well about Prime 4, where it's just like OG Switches are going to take Prime 4 as like their final mission to run that game. And I'm like, yeah, probably. Probably. I know your Switch struggles with Breath of the Wild. I can't imagine what it'd do with like Prime 4.
My Switch is like a coin flip on if it's gonna run whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, let's actually start going through the games. Of course, let off with Mario and Luigi Brothership. That is coming out in November. So really excited for that one, man. I loved the Mario and Luigi games by Alpha Dream. I thought they were a lot of fun. I love like the first three especially. The original one is still the GOAT, which could be a bad thing or a good thing. I don't know how you look at it, but I still think it's the GOAT. Superstar Saga is fantastic. Then got another look at the Nintendo World Championship NES edition, which after actually getting a full look at this and actually bothering to look at it, because I saw the announcement, I was like, I don't give a shit. Oh, it actually kind of looks kind of fun. And they have like a special like physical copy of it. I bet that thing is going to run for so much damn money.
Yeah.
Dude, it's going to run for so much money.
I will say there's a few things in this, like few games in here. This is one of them where like this stuff, I'm like, I have no memory of this. Or like it's just a blur in my head of like a few images.
Yeah. The next game though was really random.
Where the fuck did this come from?
Shout out to Fairy Tale 2. This was so damn random to me. Like, when did that game come out? Like 2018, 2016 or something?
No, it's been
Let me look.
it's been more recent than that.
Let me look. Fairy Tale PS4. When did this damn game come out? All right, so it came out in 2020. All right, you're right.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it was like it had come out fairly soon after I had moved into my place.
Yeah. So you're gonna play this, right? It's your only game that you've platinumed on your PlayStation.
Yeah, but wasn't necessarily the most fun game to play.
Well, I mean, it looked like they changed the gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like a weird action game.
Yeah, they changed like an act because that one was turn based, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. You might be obligated to play this.
I don't
even
know.
even if you're not going to enjoy it.
I don't know. It didn't necessarily look.
It did not
great.
look good. No.
Who knows if it's reasonably priced?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. You know, I didn't want to.
Let's put it this way: definitely not a day one.
Oh no, absolutely not.
If I picked it up, it would be for the meme.
You know, shout out to the people listening to this and sitting there just like, man, why are these guys talking so much about this random ass game? Because we used to be diehard Fairy Tale fans when it originally came out. Like it was a fun watch. And then, like I said, this man platinumed the first game for whatever reason.
It wasn't great. It was just simple to play. It was a good. You know how it is. Sometimes you get those turn-based like RPGs where you're just like,
Yeah.
but like you'll just turn TV on, be watching something, and be like, I'll just mindlessly do this over here.
Right. That's fair. Anyway, that's coming out this winter. Fantasian Neo Dimension. That's coming out this holiday. That one looked okay. Got an update for Switch Sports, which is basketball. It's coming this summer. Mio Memories in Orbit coming out next year. I thought this game actually looked kind of interesting. The little bit that we got to see on it had a lot of Hollow Knight vibes to it. You know, that was the kind of the vibe that I got from it. Disney Illusion Island coming Tuesday. Hello Kitty Adventure, timed exclusive, coming early next year. Shout out to that. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sport that no one's going to play, coming out this fall.
Someone's gonna play it.
Someone's going to play it. Okay. Yeah, maybe like 30 people. Got an Among Us update that's out right now. Farmagia, which this is also a game where the characters are made by Hiro Mashima. That's coming out November 1st. And it's also getting an anime this fall, too. So I guess shout out to that, man. When you look at that game, all you see is Hiro Mashima. All you see. I mean, he is true to his art style. So what works, you just keep rocking with it. DK Country Returns HD coming out January 16th of next year. I mean, that's cool. You know, it's the Wii game ported up, but I would still just love to get a new Donkey Kong game.
I mean, it was nice to see that at least a little bit of Donkey Kong representation.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, that's cool and all, but we would have just preferred a new one completely. That'd have been great. And then how about this one, John?
Okay, this was fucking cool.
Yeah, this is one that, dude, that box art.
We had
dude.
so we're talking about the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. And then the random reveal of we're getting the entire trilogy. So it's Dragon Quest 1 and 2.
Edric trilogy,
the Edric
right?
trilogy.
Yeah.
So we'll also be getting Dragon Quest 1 and 2 2D HD 2D remakes as well. So very cool.
Yeah.
That we'll actually be getting those.
I also heard him comment where he's just like, I love that we're doing it this way because in terms of timeline order, people need to play 3, 1, and 2 in that order. I'm like, what the fuck was going on when you were making these games?
That could have just been a thing where like, I did.
Things change as you get further into a series.
Yeah.
You know, it happens.
It may have started it and went, well, we probably should explain some things.
Yeah, it happens. That's how story writing goes.
But yeah, really excited about that.
Yeah. Let's see. 11/14 for 3. So
Yeah, 11/14 for 3. That's day one.
Okay, I figured. And then just no actual timeline for 2025, but just 2025.
Yeah.
So.
If it's not going to be first quarter, then if it's not going to be first quarter 2025, we're going to hear about it on Dragon Quest Day.
Yeah. So I saw, but I mean, is that one that you might pick up physically? Because that box art is sweet.
Potentially.
I feel like that could be a collector's piece.
Yeah, it's like it could be one because the problem with like the Switch is the one console where I don't mind buying physical games
Yeah.
because trying to buy digital games on Switch sucks.
Yeah, true.
Mainly just because you try to. It's no good. There's no good like library system.
Yeah,
Or
their menus have
It's like
always been garbage.
their menu system and everything is not great for buying everything digitally. So it's like the one where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll buy physical copies every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, if you do, like I said, at least you're getting that sweet box art. That thing is a beautiful piece of art. Let's see. Funko Fusion coming out September. No one cares.
I feel like that should have come out about 8 years ago.
I agree. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, another look on that one. That one's actually here out in just a few days. The new Dempamen coming out in July. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. That's out right now. So shout out to that. Darkest Dungeon 2 coming out in July. And then we got some NSO updates, which are actually pretty solid updates. We got Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance, which also features the original Four Swords. You got Metroid Zero Mission, which is the remake of the first game. And then you have the newly added NSO N64 M17 Plus mode, which is... That's how they're labeling it. It's a totally separate section in NSO now that has Perfect Dark and Turok. So shout out to that.
I love that when they had the logo for the 17 plus pop up, it just immediate cut to Turok.
Yeah, just immediately.
I was like, oh, cool. Or probably it's like oh, probably Perfect Dark and it's Turok.
Yep. Hey, the one thing though is that with them introducing the 17 plus mode, hopefully that means Conker's Bad Fur Day can get added. Because they've already added Banjo-Kazooie. So and they've added Perfect Dark, both Rare games. So the relationship is there.
Yeah, the
Add
relationship
Bad Fur Day,
with
you
Rare
cowards.
is there, but the thing is they're adding in, other games.
You were about to say better games.
Yeah, with 100%, I was going to say the good games.
You need to relax. Conker's Bad Fur Day is a gem. Hey, shout out to Allison popping in chat here. Funko was a little too late as I sell my Funkos on eBay. You're selling your Funkos on eBay. Wow. Dawn of a new era. Didn't expect that here today. Hopefully you're doing well, though. Let's see. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero. That's coming out next year. And then one that
fucking cool.
A lot of people pumped about this one. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics coming out this year.
Yeah.
Does it have like 7 to 9 games or something like that?
Yeah, it was a decent amount of games, like decent amount of games in there. The interesting thing being like the co-op aspect being in there. Also like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is in there as well. And I think they're gonna have rollback netcode for it.
Oh, dude.
Which I was not. When I saw it, I was like, oh man, it's cool that they're adding this, but if it's gonna have online, like, it's like Switch servers and that, and then I like kind of look into it. It's like, they have rollback. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Nintendo's like that could just be Capcom going, if you're doing it right.
Yeah, no, facts. Because like Capcom was probably like, look, if you're doing the reveal and it's whatever, you're gonna do this right. Because immediately, have you heard of the Mighty Keith?
Yeah.
Okay. So he immediately tweeted this. He's just like, no, Marvel vs. Capcom on Switch. Come on. And he's just like, oh, thank the heavens. It's on PS4. It's on PlayStation and PC too. All is right in the world. And I'm just like, okay. So yeah. Capcom really came to Nintendo's like, look, if you want this reveal, that's fine. Yeah. But you're going to have rollback netcode. You're going to like it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is still a really cool collection that they're showing off.
Yeah. No, it looks really solid, man. Shout out to that. Also, shout out to this next game. I'm so damn excited for this game. Super Mario Party Jamboree coming out in October. This game looks so damn fun. Like, just the... first off, more maps than Super Mario Party, because I love Super Mario Party. I think Super Mario Party is super underrated. So more maps. Got 2 maps coming back from the first game and the second game. One of the best maps from the second game coming back. Shit ton of mini games. Shit ton of game modes. This game is a day one. Playing it day one. I'm so excited for this game. I love Mario Party. It's just a dumb fun time, man. I still think Super Mario Party on my Switch, if I finally popped it back in, it's been a little bit. I still think it's one of my highest played games on the Switch. Legitimately, I think my highest is Fire Emblem Three Houses. No, Pokemon Shield. It's Pokemon Shield, Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think Breath of the Wild and then Tears, and then I legit I think it's Super Mario Party at number 5. I have like over 100 hours on Super Mario Party. I love that damn game, dude. So this looks awesome. I'm very excited. Huge roster. 10 out of 10 game. Can't wait. And then Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and that is coming out soon, which is awesome. September 26th.
This game, this game, fantastic concept.
Yep.
The one thing that as I was like watching it, and they were kind of explaining some of the mechanics of the game, especially the echoes of all the objects that you'll end up having.
Yep.
And I think he said something along the lines of there's more echoes than I've cared to count so far, or something like that. He talked about there being an extremely large amount of them. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, but they've shown you scrolling through it with the D-pad. If you wanted to get real creative with something, how many echoes can you actually have, and how far are you going to have to scroll to do something funny?
Right. Yeah. It's like, how many can you have at one time? You know what I mean? That's going to be the question.
It could be like you have a maximum limit, but then that would be annoying if you reached the limit and then did it. If it just started replacing it, I could see that being annoying. But I assume there's some option to be able to do that. Maybe they'll just let you continue to have as many as you want. It's like, well, you can have it. You just gotta scroll.
Yeah.
Or it could just have like a favorited option.
Right.
Really intrigued by the concept, though. I do like the idea of like Zelda being like, the fucking Link's gone. I guess I'll take care of it now.
Pulls out a steel chair. By God, he's got a steel chair. No, I mean, like what you said at the beginning, it was just like a new way to play Legend of Zelda, a new way to experience Legend of Zelda. You know, this is a concept that people have honestly asked for a long time. It's just like, you know, I think it'd be kind of neat to have a game where you play as Zelda. A lot of people have asked for that for a long time, and it's finally here. I think this is a great like bridge game taking us to the next console. You know, I love the art style. I loved the art style for Link's Awakening, and I've said on record before, I wish they would use that same art style for, like, let's say more remakes, like they did Link's Awakening. Give us the Oracle games in that art style. I think that's fine.
I will say, like, the art style is not my favorite. I feel like it works out because it is kind of similar to that Link's Awakening style.
Yeah.
I think it works. I think it makes way more sense for that art style in this game. Like, just because the more creative, more kind of cartoony way that you can approach combat, because like even in that they showed like creating a rock and putting it to block an enemy and then knocking the rock into him and stuff like that. I'm like that works way better. It's like I really preferred that in the art style they showed for this game. Link's Awakening, for some reason I could never vibe with it.
Yeah.
I do like it for this game though. And that's not like any like potential knock or anything on this game. This game was one of the better looking ones in the showcase for me, and I did not like when they started explaining. I was like, it's probably not for me. By the time that it ended, I went, might play that.
There you go. No, I mean, I'm cool with the art style. You know, honestly, that sort of approach that they did for like Link's Awakening and then copying it for this, like, again, I would love to see it for more remakes. It didn't have to be handhelds. Like, if you want to do like maybe a remake of Link to the Past, you know, Super Nintendo game, I think this art style would fit for it. Yeah. I mean, like same thing with the original Zelda or Adventure of Link that no one wants to play. You know, especially again the Oracle games. Oracle games would be awesome. Yeah. That'd be sweet.
But it's like I would. While I kind of mentioned this isn't my favorite art style for these type games. I mean, if the option is put them in this art style or don't get a remake for them, I'd say, I mean, put it in the art style.
Yeah, get the remake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather get the remake for it.
Yeah. But again, also excited the game is coming out soon, September 26th. I love this approach, man. I love getting a game announcement and like, oh shit, it's coming out soon. Love it. Love that.
I will say Nintendo did a decent job of it in this showcase, more so than because I came out of this one with like at least the illusion of more things coming out soon. that I did with the Xbox showcase for the Xbox. I had to go back and look it up. This one I was like, yeah, seems like a lot of that's coming out this year.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I do like Nintendo how they kind of do that sometimes. They're like, we're not going to talk to you about a lot of this stuff for a year, but then we're going to release it next month, which, yeah, appreciate.
Yeah, big time. What I don't appreciate is a special edition Switch. Don't appreciate that.
No, special edition Switch Lite.
Special edition Switch Lite. Do not appreciate that, Nintendo. Don't appreciate that at all. Because guess what? Guess who's got to buy it? That'd be me.
I was going to say, you have, what is that, 2? Is there 3 over there?
No, there's just 2.
Well, your
Tears of the
other
Kingdom.
box is inside.
Yes, actually. The Tears of the Kingdom and the Pokemon Scarlet Violet Switch behind me. No, I mean, look, it's one of those things where it's like my fiance aggressively collects anything Zelda console. Like she's got the Zelda Wii U. You know, we've got this. I've got the Ocarina of Time 3DS. She's got the Majora's Mask 3DS that she went to Target at 3 a.m. to get and wait until the Target opened. Like she's got like 2 or 3 other. I think out of all like the handheld like Zelda special editions that she doesn't have, is probably the better way to describe it, is the Hylian Shield and the crappy green 2DS. That's it. I think she's got everything else. So it's just one of her things that she collects. So I'm going to have to get this.
Man, I don't even need to buy Nintendo consoles anymore. I just need to come raid your house while you're gone one day.
Basically.
I get my pick of like whichever version of a Switch I want.
Yeah, basically. No, for real. We've got like 6 Switches in the house. About to be 7. Jesus Christ. All right, before we hit the next slate of games, Allison also commented earlier about the Mario Party, saying that she also can't wait to play it. It's so easy for people who don't like video games to pick up and play. Facts.
Yeah.
Especially with all the game modes they have. It's like a lot, because that was the cool thing about Super Mario Party is like those couple extra game modes, like the raft mode and shit like that. You know, the Bowser mode in Super Mario Party 10 was fun. It's like this has like 3 or 4 extra game modes. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason everybody gets excited with a new Mario Party announcement.
Yeah.
It's just it's the game for everyone, including it's kind of like how Wii Sports was the game that got people who didn't play games into playing games.
Yeah,
it's
true,
like Mario
true.
Mario Party is the more like the advanced version of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like Wii Sports, yeah, anybody could just get in there and swing their arm around and stuff. Then they went from there to Mario Party.
Exactly. Or Mario Kart, one of
Yeah.
the two. The 2 entry points, man. So then we got Just Dance 2025 coming out
I
this
just
October.
forgot they're still making these games.
Oh yeah. Hey, I think God, was it there was I think it was the Wii. Just Dance was the one game that was still being made on the Wii well after the Wii's life. Like I think Just Dance like went up to like 2018 or something on the Wii, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was something crazy. They got the Lego Horizons Adventure spot. We already knew that was coming to Switch. Stray coming to Switch this holiday, so that's pretty cool. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game coming out this holiday. This is basically like a little life sim in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned it before.
I think you have.
Just the fact that, man, we're getting like these farming life sim games. Like in the last year or so, we've definitely kind of hit. We've hit that development cycle for those type of games now, where
True.
goddamn, we've got a lot of them.
Yeah, coming out left and right, man. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection coming out in September, which that also features an Ace Attorney game that never came out over here. It was a Japan-only release, so I know Christina's pumped for that.
I was going to say also the only one on the show who probably would be excited about that is not here.
Not here. Yeah, agreed. Then we got to look at the 100 line Last Defense Academy coming out in 2025. This it looked like something. It was a tactics game.
You're gonna play that probably.
It's possible. We'll
Yeah,
see. I need to see more.
You're probably gonna end up playing that game.
I might. Yeah.
It looked like a game where I was like, that looks like something that Alex is gonna say. He's not like, yeah.
Don't call me out like this.
It looks like something. Probably not gonna be interested in it, and then it's gonna get closer. You go, I bought it.
Yeah, basically. Don't call me out like that. We'll see. We got a while to figure that out. Next, we got Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, coming out October 24th, which I think I think they mentioned that's a remake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. And then, like I said, ended with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, coming out 2025. I imagine it's going to get the Breath of the Wild or Twilight Princess treatment. Will be a cross console release.
Dude, that's what I've been expecting that for a while.
Yeah. It looked really impressive. I mean, I thought I'm really excited for this.
My problem is I have no reference point for what a Metroid Prime game looks like.
Yeah.
So I saw this, I went, oh, it's Metroid Prime something.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Metroid Prime games have always looked good, man. Metroid Prime was like ahead of its time.
When it started, I was like, I don't know if this is Metroid Prime 4 or if this is a remake of one of the other ones.
Yeah, so that was my first thought because it had been a while since I played 2. So like when we came in, I'm just like, I don't think that's the ship from 2. And then it's like, then it all clicked. I'm like, holy shit, this is Prime 4.
Yeah. I think I was a little ahead of you on the stream because I was like, I had already kind of come to the realization. I was like, oh, it is Prime 4.
Yeah.
And like started set it out. And you were like, holy shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I realized pretty quick that this was not a remake, and then when Silux came out, I was like, okay, 100,000,000%, this is Prime 4. Let's go, baby. Silux was the blue guy that popped in at the end with with the 2 Metroids and all the other space pirates behind him.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you don't know who it is. So I'm
I'm
pinpointing who it was in the trailer. Now, Silux was a pretty cool character in Metroid Prime Hunters, the DS game. Very, very fun game. There was him and I think 5 other hunters in that game as well. Like I think one was named Caden. We had Spire. I think Trace might have been one. But anyway, Silux is like the only one that the team has picked out. It's like, you're going to be important. And at the end of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, like after the credits, you see his ship following Samus. So it's like, been a long time coming, and here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metroid is one of those series where I look at it and I'm like, man, I wish I got into that at some point.
Still time. No, he says. No, I mean, hey,
I don't know where this time you speak of is.
No, I mean, Prime 4 looked legit, dude. Very excited for that. It's a day one. I'm very, very looking forward to that one. But overall, top to bottom, very solid direct. Again, because of how late we are in this Switch's lifespan, I thought this was going to be a big fan service direct and just give us a bunch of damn ports and shit everyone's been asking for, like get the Twilight Princess Wind Waker, get Prime 2, shit like that.
In a way, kind of is.
I mean, it is a big fan service direct, but not in the way I thought it was going to be.
I mean, let's look. We got, what was it, the Romancing Saga remake. We got the Ace Attorney port, including games we never had before.
Fair. DK.
Yeah, it's like we got a decent amount of like remakes or port ups and things like that. So it's kind of a combination of both.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And despite what I was saying at the beginning of this show when we were talking about it, this was a pretty damn good direct.
Yeah. No, because I went into it with very low expectations.
I went into it with the expectations of we're going to see something Mario.
Yes, we're going to see something Mario. Might finally see something like Metroid, maybe. Maybe something Zelda. And other than that, it's just going to be a fun time. There'll be, and then my thought is there'll be something in there that someone's going to really be excited for, And it turns out there's like 4 or 5 things that people are really excited for. So overall, very good direct, man. Nintendo brought it. I'm here for it, especially since it's the last one for the Switch. So now just get ready for the future. Any other thoughts you want to shout out with the Switch other than a Nintendo Direct?
Don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's shout out one of our sponsors then. Rogue Energy. You can use the referral link down below. Promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off your order. But hey, listen. You don't have to use the promo code. If there's a better code, use it. Just use the referral link and you're still helping the brand. You can pick up their hydration line like Dragon Fruit Mango. The brand new chill line with strawberry hibiscus, which Rogue did say they're working on some new chill flavors, which will be revealed soon. Shout out to that. Then you got the classic energy line, whether if you want the powder or the cans. With the cans, Black Cherry Lemonade is fantastic. With the energy line, we got Rocket Pop, Great Popsicle, Strawberry Kiwi, and more. We definitely recommend it. Use our referral link down below and support the brand. Boom. All right. So the next thing that I had is the PSVR 2 thing. I thought this was kind of interesting because it really brings the question: has Sony already just given up on this thing, just like they did the last one? Because as of now, apparently, per report, Sony has already pulled back funding on the PSVR 2, and there's as of now only 2 first-party games in active development. That's it. Nothing else is even in concept.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird one because also, like, I don't expect in the VR space for the first party games to be like the big. It's weird to say I don't expect first party games to be big flagship games for VR. I expect the kind of smaller teams to be able to kind of take up that role because they're gonna be more willing to kind of experiment and try to fully utilize the VR in a fun way. Whereas I think some like first party games that try to use it, sometimes it's. I mean, we've seen good VR games come out, but also we see the ones that are kind of. We also just want to make it about a franchise and just give you VR elements.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not too surprised
Neither am I.
because it's like, hell, we don't ever really get in VR segments there at any of these showcases.
Yeah.
They don't like they're just.
I feel like we did when it first came out, and they pulled back on it heavy.
Yeah, because they
They were trying to push.
They were trying to just push it, and they were just showing us like small nothing games.
Yeah.
Or it's like something that looked interesting, but I mean, not enough to buy the VR setup.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've only got two first party games right now. Well, you're supposed to. It's like take those, make them look really good, so that someone buys the VR set.
Yeah, someone actually wants to buy it. I will say another aspect that I think is them just trying to push the mindset of please buy this shit is just recently. I think it was like maybe a month ago. I don't think I included it in a weekly wrap up because this has mostly been out of my window. I don't really give a shit, is they recently have put on like full PC support. So if someone can buy this and use this on their PC setup,
I think we mentioned it briefly.
we might have. I don't remember because I know for the most part PSVR 2 is mostly off our radar. Yeah. So I don't know if we ever mentioned that news, but it was like a month ago. So like when I saw that and now I see this report, it really just tells me they're just asking. It's like, there's like this thing has bombed in sales probably, and them doing the PC collaboration, like all the connectivity and everything is trying to push like just please buy this shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's the weird space of trying to, like, you want to get into the VR space, but also you want to you want to put it on your console and just develop straightly for your console. It's like, yeah, you could do that, or restrict people from being able to use it on PC.
Yeah.
But if you give it to them, if you give them, they should have started with it having PC access.
Yeah.
Because then you'd have had people who were like, okay, well, I'll buy this because I can use it for my PC. And also, if a good PlayStation VR game comes out, I can just move my setup over to it, or I can move my setup, like my PlayStation, to this setup and be good to go immediately.
Yeah.
But I feel like you kind of missed a window there.
I agree. And you're 100% right because like the thing is like I've watched some like tech reviews on it and stuff like that of content creators who bought it. It's apparently a really solid piece of tech. It's just that it's been so limited, only being on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I mean, the VR space. I mean,
it's still growing.
It's still growing, but also realistically, it's a PC space right now.
Yeah,
it's like you're still working on. Granted, you've been working on it for like a decade at this point, or maybe more.
Yep.
But on the PC side, it's been going for longer, and there's way more availability to be able to work on it for that space.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those where when they went to PSVR 2, they should have just immediately had PC support with it.
I agree. Just because that would have helped push it. Because again, it's a solid piece of hardware. And the weird thing about with where VR is that with it being still so young is like, with what our expectations are kind of VR thanks to media, right? Like of what it, I guess, of what it should be and where it can go is the better way to put it. We still don't really have like that game that would like entice people to want to get a VR. Like the most notable VR game, as far as I know, is probably Half-Life Alyx, which was a lot of people claim to be like that should have been a Game of the Year nominee, and people don't even talk about it today.
It's the only one that was even close to coming to my mind of like,
Yep.
This is kind of this is the direction VR should be going in.
Yes.
But I mean, you kind of got to look at it that way now still, and it's like that's several years old at this point.
Yeah, and I also want to stress. This: the games that are currently on VR, I'm not calling them dog shit. Like, there's a lot of like like smaller games, or like let's say ports, or let's say like a Resident Evil 4 or whatever.
But there's a difference between a port.
Like they're fine though, but it's still not your flagships.
There's a difference between a game put in VR and a Game of the Year made for VR.
Correct. I do agree to that. Like, I just want to stress, I'm not dogging every game that's ever come out to VR. There's some obviously some fun games, but there's nothing that's pushing the hardware on any front.
You can take a Game of the Year winner and adapt it to VR. But if you make a Game of the Year contender for VR, that's going to be a completely different experience and a completely different game.
Yeah.
That then has the potential to be, here is why everyone should be buying VR. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I agree. We're still waiting on that.
Yeah.
Half-Life Alyx was the closest we've gotten.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like that sold a lot of VR sets.
Yeah, no, it 100% did. Like I said, there's still some fun games. Like I see some TikTok content of one game. I don't know what it is, but it's just like a big, almost like a sandbox sort of game where like the dude is playing as Spider-Man and he's like literally swinging around and like pulling people off a bridge and shit and killing. I was like, it looks fun, like that looks like fun to swing around like that, but it's not fun enough. It's not making me want to go buy a VR headset. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's one of those things that once the game comes that makes me want to buy a VR headset. I'll play it then. Yeah. But I'm not going out to get a VR headset for like VR chat room or whatever game it was called. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, that's like I was mentioning earlier. It's like, I mean, you can have your first party game. You can have your big titles that are supposed to sell it. But what's going to sustain people are the smaller games. Yeah. The smaller, quick jump in, jump out, have fun for 15 minutes games.
Yep.
It's like I mean, hell, at the end of the day, that's what most of us end up playing.
Yeah, true. But I mean, it's not surprising to hear that Sony's probably backed off funding. Yeah. I mean, it makes me question: are we even going to see a PSVR 3? Like, it makes me question: is that even going to happen?
It could potentially happen. It could be that. I mean, it could be that they're kind of learning that people don't want to buy it just for this. Yeah. It's like maybe it could be the thing where they're like, we'll try one more time, and this time give them the option to use it on PC everywhere. Give them the option to use it everywhere, and maybe people will actually like be more interested in buying it.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Because like you said, they've got good tech. Mm-hmm. It's like they've got the solid tech for it. They've just got no reason to buy it.
Yeah, facts. Hopefully, also they'll just go back into the handheld market too. Still gonna hold out hope for that one.
Oh, we'll get one.
We better. I want one. I want one. All right, let's shout out our sponsor real quick. Agent Inc. You can use the referral link down below. Pick up one of our 2 hats or one of our jerseys. Still got to update the jerseys for ATFS and Gamesthetic. I gotta get in contact with the Agent Inc. team. That's my bad, but we do have the Sparky 3 and the AniMan Plus jersey, which are honestly incredibly sick. You should definitely pick one up. Use the referral link down below. All right, let's see. John, you got anything that you wanted to chat about? If not, I can start hitting like the weekly wrap up because we got like the Tango GameWorks stuff and a bunch of other things. You got anything interesting from your week?
Just kind of, I was gonna mention because it is kind of topical news.
Okay, here for
that. Just because like we were talking before the show, it took about 2 years. And constantly watching a lot of videos and different content about the game, and it took a highly praised DLC to come out. I might be giving Elden Ring a try.
Finally gonna jump into it.
It has taken a couple years of me going, I wouldn't enjoy that game. I don't think I would play it. Still don't know if I would actually.
Yeah.
Like, still a massive game, and I think I'd get lost in it and not get overwhelmed because that tends to happen in like big open world type games with me these days. But I'm probably gonna give it a try now.
Okay. I've been kind of in that same boat where I think what kind of pushed me to even really want to try it is we've talked about this on the show. You know, we want to try to prep for Black Myth Wukong because we are not Souls players. Apparently, Black Myth Wukong is not as Souls like as we thought. But bottom line, John and I are not Souls players. So like John and I have talked on the show. Oh, we need to try a few games to kind of get used to Black Myth. You know, get ready for Black Myth Wukong, baby. And Elden Ring was one that I've been looking at, especially with the expansion coming out and it just being highly reviewed and praised. I'm in the exact same, but I've been looking at this. I've been looking at the same damn thing that you are.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, because I mean, 2 years ago when this game was coming out, but the week it came out, we didn't even talk about it on the show.
Nope.
I think we led this show off. We may have mentioned it.
I think we led the show off was like we didn't play Elden Ring, just full transparency.
I know we did for our Game of the Years that year. We did not play Elden Ring. This is not in our.
I'm trying to remember what.
I think we did talk about it some because that was an episode where you weren't on it, and I think we had a guest.
What did we have for Game of the Year for that year? Do you remember?
No.
I don't. I'm trying to remember what even came out that year. I don't remember. What did we name Game of the Year? I legitimately don't. Do I have a channel prep for that? I don't think I do. Wait, no, I do. I do have a channel prep for this. What year was that? Was that 2022? Okay, so it was Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was Ragnarok. Yeah, so that makes sense.
But yeah, it comes full circle. We go from not really having any plan to even mention what realistically was probably the biggest game of the year that came out that year.
Yeah, true.
To I'm finally gonna play it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm right there with you. I've been looking at it a lot. I've been thinking about it, so I'm right there with you. I think that's like this. I think off the top of my head, I think it's like the second like really big release that was being highly praised. That like right when it came out, we immediately came into the show and said, yeah, we didn't play it. So I know the other one was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That came out, and I remember leading off a joke with the show. It's like, oh yeah, we played it. We dumped 100 hours into it already. It's a great game. And I'm just like, nah, we're actually here to talk about Digimon Survive because it came out the same day.
Oh yeah, because I mean, we put a lot of time into Digimon Survive.
Well, you did. I mean, I put like 20 hours.
No.
That's
leading into it, you had more time than I did, and then
that's true. Yeah.
I blew past.
Then you did your thing. Yeah. So yeah, no, shout out to that, man. Took 2 years, but both of us are finally about to play Elden Ring.
And like little to no interest in the game to suddenly. We both really want to play it.
Yes, yeah. So I might be picking it up soon. So this paycheck, dude, was some of the most brutal paycheck I've had in a while. Of just the worst timing of where it's like car insurance and like AT&T and stuff. You know, literally the day before I get paid. So I'm broke as shit right now. But next paycheck, I got a lot of money.
Dude, I had complete opposite.
See, no, this is the bad paycheck from the dates. The dates lined up horribly for me. So like next paycheck, I'm finally buying college football. I might buy Elden Ring.
You don't need to buy college football.
I need to buy college football. You need to calm down. It's been one of the biggest releases of the year for me.
You're gonna play it and just be mad.
Only when I'm playing with Brady.
No,
Fuck you, Brady.
You're gonna play it and you're gonna be mad because at the end of the day, you've played a football game before.
But this is college football, baby. This is college football coming back.
Yeah, the jerseys and the team names are going to be different. It's going to be the same game.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
It's going to be the same game.
I cannot wait. We are. Hang on. We are. Not right. We are 24 days away from the game's release. We're also 59 days away from Black Myth Wukong. Hey, shout out to that. So, yeah, I know this next paycheck I was going to get EA College Football 25. I was thinking about buying Elden Ring and go ahead and locking in my pre-order for Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I was looking earlier. I got to lock in my Black Myth Wukong pre-order. I'm probably going to buy Elden Ring. I got to lock in my Dragon Quest 3 pre-order.
Yep. I need to go actually put in some pre-orders too. I need to get like Zelda on the pre-order. I got to watch for that Switch. Mario and Luigi, Super Mario Party. I got a lot of pre-orders I got to get done soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got to give. I still got to play the demo of. Was it that Intronia last song?
Oh yeah.
I still got to play the demo that I downloaded it, but I hadn't actually tried it.
Yeah, and also to follow up on that, I mentioned this to John before the show. I downloaded the new release on Game Pass, Still Wakes the Deep, the survival horror game based on the oil rig that is extremely Scottish. Apparently, is what some reviews said. So I'm honestly I'm probably gonna start finally playing that tonight. I meant to play it. I turned it on, played about 5 minutes, and I had to go do something. I've had a crazy week. John knows.
Yeah.
I've had a wild week. And you will also somewhat know of the Wild Week if you listen to ATFS. But yeah, so I haven't got a chance to play it yet. So I'm probably going to actually sit down and play Still Wakes the Deep tonight and might talk about it next week. So shout to that. So I'm with you on that one. Other than that, I've been kind of playing some TFT still in my free time. Just come on, just play a hyper roll game and just move on. It's kind of been where I'm at right now.
Fun fact. I uninstalled League.
Oh, yeah.
Entirely.
I mean, I don't blame you.
It's like I don't even have access to play TFT on my computer right now.
Considering TFT is linked directly to League, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Uninstalled that a little while ago. I forgot about that when you were asked me about playing with you. I was like, oh, I completely forgot. I nuked that from my computer.
Yeah. That's a big install, too, if you to reinstall it. So, fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I was going to say, this, like, for the last week, I've been cooling down a little bit on the RuneScape grind, but also back on my co-op game of Baldur's Gate 3 because my co-op partner's back in town.
Nice.
Or like he's back from his vacation. And then I mentioned to you, started to try to learn how to play Project Zomboid.
Yep.
Fun game.
Nice.
It definitely scratches an itch that you don't know that you're missing.
You don't know you're missing it till you start it, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like because it's. Do you know what that game is?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's There's the itch there because if you've ever played like kind of like an open world zombie survival craft game, it definitely leaves its mark of like wanting to play another one, and you don't realize it until you start playing another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, been enjoying that.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. Let me get the exact name. Have you seen that new co-op game that came out on Steam? The chained game.
Yeah, the one where they're chained together. I've seen clips of it in shorts.
Yeah, I want to play it. Chained together. Yeah, there you go. It's only $5. I want to play it. Looks fun. You can either play with one person for a little co-op duo action, or you can play with 4 people.
Yeah, the clips I've seen have been 4 people.
Yeah. No, I want to play it. It looks fun. Yeah, I want to pick that one up. So if you're interested in that, let me know.
I mean,
it's $5. So.
That's the other thing. It's like I have paid more money for
games
for much worse games and ones that that I played one time and did not enjoy.
Yeah. No, it looks fun. I want to pick that one up. I don't think I've been playing anything else. I've been in a big watch grind recently. You know, we had The Boys season 4 drop, so watched those 3 episodes last Thursday. Episode 4 I finally watched today, and then I started rewatching 86 this week too. But man, The Boys is so good so far. It's a great season. Have you checked it out yet?
No.
Oh, why?
I don't watch The Boys.
I thought you have watched The Boys.
No, I watched like most of the first season.
Oh, I guess I'm thinking of someone else then. I thought you. I know Josh.
I haven't watched any of the shows that people like shows that everybody watches and is enjoying right now. I don't watch any of those.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Except House of the Dragon.
Okay.
But even that, I'm like, I watch it like everybody comes in going, "Did you watch that?" I'm like, "No, not yet." And I just wait until I make them mad because they can't talk about it around me at work, and then I watch it afterwards, or I watch it like on Friday, and it comes out on Sunday.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I got The Boys going right now, and then I think later this week The Bear season 3 starts. So looking forward to that one too. That'll be fun as well. So I've been in a watch grind recently. That's been what I've been up to. Anyway. You ready to start going through the weekly wrap up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the first thing that I had was this Tango GameWorks thing. So this is look, I hate to see that they closed, but like this adds some clarity to it. You know what I mean? Like if all of this is factual information, like I mean, okay, I guess I can understand it as much as I don't like it. So when the studio was acquired, Bethesda wanted them to make AAA games. Meanwhile, the studio wanted to be one to develop smaller games such as like Hi-Fi Rush and what they've done before.
Well,
So kind of a conflict of interest on that front.
but you would think you would iron that out before the acquisition.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I
Yeah.
read that. It's like you think that would be handled before
Yeah.
Bethesda ever bought you in like
Yeah.
2010.
You would think that the conversation before the final purchase would be made.
Yeah.
It's like okay, we're agreeing on this, or it's like we're either agreeing on this or we're buying you. We're telling you what you're doing,
Yeah,
and it's like that. You would think that would be the end of it.
I agree. So the next thing is apparently Matt Booty's approach to the closure. And this same thing goes for any sort of closure, and it goes for Arcane as well. So number one, what kind of leadership do you have? Number two, is the current team the same team that was successful in the past? And number three, is the team poised to success in the future? Let's be honest. I think those three very fair reasons on why you should look at closing a studio. So when looking at Tango and Arcane, both just didn't meet the criteria, basically. So with Arcane, they had lost 70% of their staff post Redfall. Jesus Christ, Redfall. The studio leader apparently did not show any leadership on Redfall, and basically the Redfall results were very poor, to put it lightly. So literally, Redfall murdered that studio, top to bottom, which is super unfortunate for Arcane Austin. And then when it comes to Tango, so Shinji Mikami, who is basically the studio's spiritual leader, he left. Two of the three people that Shinji thought would replace him left. Ghostwire Tokyo, sales performance did not really meet expectations. Bethesda apparently was already considering closing Tango. They had the unexpected success of Hi-Fi, and then the PS5 launch of Hi-Fi was going to be a measuring stick on if Hi-Fi can be a successful franchise and basically save Tango, and apparently it flopped on the PS5.
Well, part of the problem with that, and it's a weird thing or it's part of the weird thing of like having, or like Microsoft's kind of strategy of like putting certain games over to PlayStation 5, and then because the way they phrased it was along the lines of the game can no longer grow in its own ecosystem. Let's try to send it out so it can grow some more. The problem is all the people that were on PlayStation that you could have got to play this game immediately probably played the game elsewhere.
Yeah, they probably played it on like either PC Game Pass or just maybe they had an Xbox Series S.
It's like they had like you can't let a game go out there and expend all of its momentum and then send it to another console and expect it to do well from that point. All the hype was gone.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfair for that to be the measuring stick, in my opinion. It's like, granted, it's like you're looking for a metric, but you basically stack the deck to make it come out how you're looking for it to as your metric for like success. It's like, oh, we're considering closing you. If you do really well on PS5, then we'll consider it. But also you've got no momentum and we don't care.
Basically,
It's kind of how it feels like it looks.
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to the two closures and the details for it, Arcane totally makes sense. I mean, especially when you lose 70% of your staff. That makes sense. For the Tango thing, like I agree, it's not fair to make that your measuring stick. Here's what I would have pitched of like Hi-Fi Rush was the Game of the Year nominee, right? Like, I mean, it was like a highly acclaimed game. Well, apparently, 2 of 3 people he thought would replace them left. That means there's 1 left. Why not make them the spiritual successor? Give them 1 more shot. Let them make a Hi-Fi Rush 2. It worked. It was a huge success. Let them do a second one. See how it goes.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like the plug got pulled.
Well, it's also the problem of like you want them to make a different style game than they want to make.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's like you're telling them they have to make a different style game than what they want to make. When they make the style game they want to make, they made a Game of the Year nominee. Why not? Yeah, it's like you said, why not give them the one last chance and go, prove us wrong, make what you want to make.
Yeah.
But, didn't happen, unfortunately. Closed the studio. So, is what it is. But, yeah, it's one of these where it's like, we can look at it and go, yeah, I mean, did nobody present this as an option? They probably did. But it's the same thing of like, they're already considering closing them, then there's not a lot you can do to save that. If they're already considering it, they're not going to give you the several years it's going to take to make yourself a new game,
Right.
and try to prove yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're on the chopping block now.
Yeah, which is top to bottom really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Especially for Arcane, man. The fact that Redfall was literally the sole thing that murdered the studio, it adds almost like a different level of hatred for that game, I imagine, by the developers, and everyone at Arcane is like, they probably have a different level of hatred for that game because it's like that game murdered a studio. So very unfortunate. Shout out to John for playing it. What a legend. Almost beating it too. You almost beat it.
Yeah.
Impressive. Anyway, so next up, apparently, we've talked about this rumor before, but I wanted to plug it again since it popped back up my timeline. There is a rumor that the God of War trilogy is getting a remake or a remaster treatment, and it's apparently coming for God of War's 20th anniversary next year.
Down. 100%.
I mean, it makes sense if next year's 20th. I mean, it makes sense. Do something like that.
Yeah. We've remastering everything else.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be fun. Also wanted to shout out Sega's 2024 because they're having a damn good year, my friend. Like, their year is awesome. So first off, we got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is the fastest selling Yakuza and Like a Dragon game. 1 million sold in the first week. Persona 3 Reload sells 1 million in the first week. Fast selling Atlas game in history. Unicorn Overlord sold over 500K copies in less than a month. And then Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance has okay. So this was kind of weird the way they put it up. I think the 1.6 million is both the original release and the Vengeance release. The way they put it up, the way the Sega posted this, like was celebrating, was kind of weird. So basically 1.6 million sold over basically 5's lifespan, but the Vengeance version has sold over 500K copies in 3 days. They're having a damn good year, and they got some more games to come, like Sonic X Shadow Generations.
I will say the standout one there is kind of Unicorns, because it's
true.
the one at like 500K, and you're like, a lot of people would look at that, or like a lot of developers, they'd be like, oh, man, it's only 500K. It's like, for a Unicorn, when this trailer came out and I saw that, I'm like, oh man, this is for a certain group of people.
I love Unicorn, man. Unicorn's awesome.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that's not a game that was made for the wide audience out there. It's like that's for a certain type, like certain player base, and they loved it.
Oh yeah. To add to that, when I pre-ordered my copy, because I did get it physical because I'm a boomer, the store that I went to, they told me up front, yeah, yours is the only copy we got in. No one else pre-ordered here. I'm like, yeah, I figured. I love that game though. But no, I mean, Sega's year is going to continue too, man. Like I said, Sonic X Shadow Generations, then Metaphor. I mean, they're having a damn good year, top to bottom. Speaking of Metaphor, I want to shout this out. I don't know if Zach's listening. I hope he is, and I hope he listens. Fuck that guy. Zach messaged me earlier. He just said, Alex, how would you feel if I was considering to buy 2 collector's editions of Metaphor? And I just told him to go away. And he said, but Alex, I need one to keep it sealed, and I need one to open it and get all the stuff out of it. And I just told him to go away again. And I didn't entertain that conversation any longer. But fuck that guy. I know he's just going to affirm it. He's going to use the affirm card.
I've never once in my life thought about buying multiple collector's editions. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do I ever even consider buying one.
Yeah. And 2 of the same.
That's a strange man.
He is. Now, see, for like a case like, let's say Black Myth, I can understand it because there's two vastly different editions.
2 separate ones that has completely different contents in it.
Yeah. But buying 2 of the same, it's just like, I hate you. I hate you. All right, so next up we had, let's see. Oh, Pokemon, not Pokemon. Power Rangers and Arc has a crossover. That's something. Shout out. There's also an Overwatch and Transformers crossover coming.
Sure.
shout out to that too. I'll be curious what it is. Apparently, Uncharted 2 movie is in fact in the works. So I think we've already kind of knew that, but I saw the more reports that it's like, hey, filming is starting soon. So I guess shout out to that. He got some random small Bethesda news as per Todd Howard in an interview that he had. Starfield will have a major expansion every year is the goal, and the game is going to have support for many years to come. They're going for like a decade plus support is what they want to go for, which also tells you Starfield sequel will be very long away, which makes sense. We have multiple other games to come out.
This is the weirdest news to hear about a single player game.
Yep.
It's like we will be supporting it with content for the next several years, up to like potentially a decade. It's like, I don't want to play the same game that long.
Right.
If it's a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why not just, give it a couple year, like 1 or 2 yearly expansions and then make another one.
Yeah, and kind of move on.
That's what you do with all your other franchises.
Yep. Which, speaking of their other franchises, in this interview, the guy asked him about Elder Scrolls 6 and the reveal, 7 years ago, whatever, and just kind of asked him like how it's going. And Todd, apparently he had to pause and he said, "Oh wow, that has been a while since the reveal for it. That game was revealed way too damn early." But again, he did it to shut everyone up. Like, hey, it's happening.
I mean, still, that's 7 years ago. Since then, we've gotten Starfield, which was, as predicted, a Bethesda game.
Yep.
Set in space.
Yep.
And we're now getting a big expansion for it, and then we're going to be getting more expansions for it coming. It's like, yeah, I mean, Starfield, not a bad game.
Mm.
It is a game.
It is a game.
It's a game that people enjoy. Yep. It's like when I say it's a game, I don't mean that as like derogatory or anything.
Is that on our board? No.
It wasn't like I didn't enjoy it too much myself, but I know plenty of people did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like most people don't give a shit about Starfield. Most people want the next Fallout. Most people want the next Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
That's what they want them to make. And if the next 5 years is going to be a big team working on Starfield content that could have potentially been working on these other franchises.
Yep.
I mean, nobody's going to be happy.
True, because we want Elder Scrolls 6.
We want Elder Scrolls 6. It's like the people are hammering for a new Fallout game. It's like, damn, dude, you've had a Fallout game much sooner than we've had an Elder Scrolls game.
Facts. And let's not forget, because I always forget them. There are those apparent, rumor and reports of like an Oblivion remaster and like I think it was a Fallout 3 remaster. So those are at least a couple bridge games to get us to where we're going. But yeah, let's turn all of attention to Elder Scrolls 6 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing is, Starfield came out last year. We were told, hey, we're not touching Elder Scrolls until after we're done with Starfield.
Yep.
Then they've been working on Starfield because it wasn't the best reception that they were hoping for.
Yep.
And then the comments of like, oh, that was a long time ago. It's like, well,
time flies.
See you in 5 years for the next game.
Basically, it's not coming out this console generation.
Hell no.
Yeah, it's not. It's not, because the console generation is probably going to reset in 2 years, 3 years. So I mean, we're not seeing it this console generation, which is wild, but whatever. All right, so next thing I had was some new info was leaked on Wonder Woman. So we already knew the Nemesis system was going to be in the game, but apparently it's a massive focus of the game. And I'll go ahead and say it up front, and I said it when all the the news came out about the Wonder Woman game. Like, I don't really give a shit about DC that much. There are a couple heroes that are cool. I don't give a shit about Wonder Woman, but I'm playing this game because Nemesis system is awesome, and they need to use it more. I love the Nemesis system, so I'm 100% playing this.
That is gonna entirely depend on what the game looks like and how the game how the gameplay looks.
Okay, so I guess let me rewind a little bit.
That's just for me personally.
Yeah, no, because you're right. So let me rewind and kind of correct my statement a little bit. It having the Nemesis system, as long as it checks all the boxes you said, I'm playing this thing because Nemesis system alone is a seller to me.
Yeah. I will say one thing. I don't know if you made it much to the next part of it. I don't know what fast-paced free flow combat
I don't know either.
means.
I don't know either.
Because if that means like combat, like we saw in the previous like the
Lord
Lord of the Rings
yeah.
games, which I mean it's essentially it's Arkham combat.
Yeah.
All these games have Arkham combat. If it means Arkham combat, I'm way less interested.
I think it's fine.
It's fine combat,
yeah.
but it's also like
No, it's not like
we've
new
been
and fresh
playing that combat
for so long. That's fair.
And
That's
you
fair.
gotta think it's like because think of like Spider-Man 2, it's still the same combat, but at least they added some extra stuff to it this time.
That's fair.
And it's like the little bit of additional stuff that you get helps with it. But at that base combat level, if you're saying it's free flow combat, I better not see Arkham combat.
You better see something different.
It's like show me some actual cool looking combat at that point.
Yeah. The last leak for it is just iconic DC character appearances, so cameos, which those are expected. So, then let's see. The last piece of news that I had was Hidetaki Miyazaki from Soft had some. He's been very active with the lead up of the Elder Ring expansion, doing a lot of interviews and stuff. And there was a couple things that I kind of picked out that I thought was really interesting. So, the first is about all the gaming layoffs that we see all the time, that he just kind of states his case that he's extremely against it. And he says as long as he's in charge, it will not happen. So shout out. He also did make sure to talk about, he mentioned, there was that, that former Nintendo president who literally cut his own salary to prevent no one lost their jobs during the Wii U era. It's like, that's what presidents need to do. So, hey, big shout out to that man. And then the last thing that I thought was really interesting is he's just like, I'm still trying to create my ideal fantasy RPG. Elden Ring is good, but it's just not quite there. It's just like, dude, you created like what people consider one of the greatest games ever, and you're just like, it's not quite there. What are your expectations? What are you creating?
Well, that's the thing, because
it's a good thing to have, though.
He has to have that mindset.
Yeah, he does.
Because if in his mindset he's already created his masterpiece, he's done.
Yeah, I agree. So I like top to bottom, love this guy.
Oh yeah,
love this guy. Love this guy. Top to bottom.
This is the attitude a lot more people need to take that are in charge.
Facts. Love this guy. You got any other news that you want to shout out?
I could not remember whatever the hell I was trying to think of.
All right. Maybe one day. All right, so let's finish up with Gamestead Game of the Week. I think it's my week, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. So I already know what I'm gonna pick. So this is a game that I've talked about on a few occasions. It's one of those games that I'm sure most gamers have seen it go on sale on like the digital storefront, whatever, because it didn't have a physical release or anything. And they've probably looked at it and it's like, that game looks kind of interesting. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but maybe one day. And that was me for the longest time until I finally pulled the trigger and played it. And that is Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. Okay. Drawn a blank on the studio name that made this game, but the studio that created this game is founded by the Assassin's Creed creator, like the OG creator who made Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and 3. And when you're playing Ancestors, you can definitely get the Assassin's Creed vibe behind it, of just like the climbing mechanics and stuff like that. The different kind of how with Assassin's Creed you have like the eagle vision, whatever. You can also have like your senses vision with Ancestors. So the whole point around Ancestors: Humankind Odyssey is you're just starting off, just building up your clan of apes and evolving. And it's such a fascinating game. It does not hold your hand at all. One of the biggest things that I've learned from like playing the game and even like looking up some guides or like a little tutorial just to see like what the hell am I doing? Am I doing this right? Is the game is all built around trial and error. Like you are meant to, like once you start your first clan, right? Don't feel bad if you have to reset it. Like, you're going to probably have to reset it because there's going to be so much stuff that you're going to learn and continue to pick up where you're going to keep resetting your clan and just trying to get further along with your developments, because it's just like little things that help increase the growth for your clan, of where it's like literally just picking up a stick over and over again. Like that's going to further just help just general function of your clan, of where they're going to help evolve them later on to help you out later with like combat or just doing more general like daily tasks or whatever. It's a super fascinating game, man. It's one that you can honestly play over and over. Very stressful though. That game stresses me out.
Developed by Panache Digital Games.
Panache, thank you. Yeah, which again, Panache was founded by Assassin's Creed creator. That game is very stressful though, because of all the the shit out there that's trying to kill you. Because combat is a learning curve, my friend. When you're getting used to because the whole aspect around combat for you is mostly just kind of hammering down the dodging mechanics is one of the biggest ones. And then as you kind of progress and you're able to get to a point where you can, get a stick, sharpen the stick to make a little spear, or get to a point where you can take a rock and sharpen the rock and then attach it to a stick and make an actual spear. Then you can kind of start getting down to the nitty gritty, but it's got a lot of difficult to it for sure. At least for me, it's a pretty difficult game, but I still have a lot of fun, even though I'm immensely stressed out. The entire time I'm playing this game, I am so stressed out. But as you kind of just progress and you reach the point where you're ready to kind of evolve your clan, you can just basically fast forward so many years and just kind of continue to watch your clan grow up, watch your clan pass away, and just continue to grow and evolve and go to new camps and build new homes. And very fascinating game. Definitely recommended. Assassin's Creed, Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. There is a second one in development as well. So shout out to that. I'm looking forward to it. All right, I think that's all. We got. So I'm going to hit the music over here. We're going to go to you, and we're getting out of here.
All right, thank you for watching us. And if you like what you saw and wanted to come check us out, again, we do these live streams every Saturday, roughly about 6 p.m. Central Time. So leave a comment down below about what you thought about the Nintendo Direct, and come check us out again.
Make sure to also check us out at just our YouTube channel with all the videos and shorts I've been putting up recently. Thank you so much for all the support on that. I've been getting a lot of reviews, comments, likes. Been enjoying the interaction with gamers across the board. And make sure to also check out 2 sponsors, Rogue Energy and Agent Ink. Use our referral link down below, promo code Sparky3 over at Rogue Energy to get 10% off your order. I'll be back next week. Hopefully, I'll be talking about Still Wakes the Deep because it looks like a lot of fun and I want to play it. And hopefully, I'll be playing it tonight. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.